Busy one. General one. Assalamualaikum. But today you have already completed your immunology module. Today we will start with the virology. Viruses are very important as why you all know already. And today we will discuss the basics of virology, what we discuss in just like in general bacteriology or general parasitology. We will discuss the basic natural features of viruses. Viruses are non-living organisms outside of the host cell and composed of nucleic acids and proteins. Like they are non-living because they don't have all the features of a cell, but they are act like a normal organism because they have nucleic acids and proteins. Although they were deficient of complete DNA cascade or RNA cascade, but so that's why they need always a host cell in order to multiply or in order to grow. The basic comparison between the viruses and the cells are that viruses are either DNA or RNA. At the same time, both strains are not present. While the cells contain DNA as well as RNA, there are few proteins in the viruses, while there are many proteins in the other cells. The capsid and or the envelope or the outer covering is present, while in the cells, cell membranes are present. No ribosomes or mitochondria are present, or these are the organelle of a normal cell, but they are not present in the viruses. No mitosis, no binary fission. They don't divide like bacteria divide by mitosis or binary fission. They don't divide with this method. Then few enzymes like RNA polymerase are present, which will help to have all the facilities from the host cell, and then they go for the division process. While in the viruses, in the other cells, other than viruses, all the and many enzymes are present in order to complete all the division by themselves. This is the basic difference between the structure of a normal cell, which is having so many organelle inside, while in the viruses, either RNA or DNA, all the different things are present, only an envelope is there, then envelope proteins are there, then the viral genome is there, either it's RNA or DNA. Both RNA and DNA are not present in the same virus. Then nucleocapsid is there, which is containing the DNA material or RNA material. And then there is viral tegument, which is outside the nucleocapsid. And then the envelope is there. Many viruses are non-enveloped as well, and they don't have these envelope proteins or envelope. While in a normal cell, you can see all the organelles are there. Ribosome is there, mitochondria is there, Golgi apparatus is there, nuclei are there, nucleolus is there, then centrioles are there, cytoplasm is there, ribosomes are there. So many things are there so that we can divide easily and equally from them inside the cell without any host. What are the structure of the viruses? Viruses are composed of an inner core of nucleic acid and either DNA or RNA, but not both. A proteinaceous coat or capsid named as capsid as a whole, this structure is called a nucleocapsid. The capsid protein is the protein which contains either RNA or DNA inside it, and that's why it's called a nucleocapsid. Outside of the protein coat, some viruses have an additional lipoprotein covering called envelope. Now, some viruses, not all, so you can easily differentiate the viruses into enveloped and non-enveloped viruses. And those which are enveloped, they are containing this envelope, which is made up of lipoproteins. They do not have nucleus, cytoplasm, or mitochondria or ribosomes. As you see the structure, same which we have discussed before. The important thing is viral genome and the nucleocapsid, and then the viral tegument, and then if it is enveloped, it has envelope of lipoproteins. What are the viral nucleic acids? Viral nucleic acid is either single or double-stranded DNA or single or double-stranded RNA. Now you can further divide. First, there are viruses, either they are RNA or they are DNA. Now RNA viruses can be divided further into two, double-stranded or single-stranded. Same goes for the DNA. DNA are also double-stranded or single-stranded. Their nucleic acids can be either linear or circular. Now the nucleic acid inside them, either they are linear, like straight in the position, or they are circular, like coiled. So they are named further divided. They are then further divided into linear or circular nucleic acids. DNA is always a single molecule. RNA can exist as a single molecule or multiple pieces. Viral protein capsid or is made up of subunits that are called capsomere. These are small button-like structures, and then when they unite together, they make a chain, and this chain is the basic viral protein or capsid, which is which is enveloping that particular nucleic acid. Each capsomere consists of one or several proteins. Arrangement of the capsomere gives specific shape of the virus, and the viral capsid protects the genetic material. Viral capsid mediates the attachment of the virus to the specific receptors on the host cells. Now you should know that virus is not useful or beneficial or dividatory unless it gets attached to the host cell surface. And for that purpose, the capsid is the basic thing which is getting attached to the host surface. Basically, what happened is that these viral envelopes, if the viral is enveloped, these envelope proteins shed off, and only the genome part, that is capsid, get attached to the host cells. Viral envelope is a lipoprotein membrane composed of lipid derived from the host cells. There are also spike-like projections to glycoproteins on the surface which get attached to the host cell receptors. Now these are the glycoprotein projections which are on the surface, and these are the ones which get attached to the host cells. Viral envelope is derived from the cell's outer membrane, with an exception of herpes virus, which is derived from the cell's nuclear membrane. Viral envelope is derived from the cell outer membrane, with an exception of herpes, which is derived from the nuclear membrane. Enveloped viruses are more sensitive to the heat, drying, detergents, alcohol, or as compared to the non-enveloped viruses, because they are sensitive to them. Size and shape, there are many sizes of the viruses, and viruses are the very small size organisms, so they are visible under only the light microscope. They range in size from 20 to 300 nanometers and in the diameter. They are complex structures of the precise geometrical symmetry, but commonly called as sapphires, rods, bullets, or bricks. Their shape is determined by the number of repeating subunits of that protein capsid and of the virus. Symmetry is of different shapes, like icosahedral. If the capsomere are arranged in 20 triangles that form a symmetrical figure, and these are called icosahedral. If the helical shape is there, these are the capsomeres arranged in a holocoil that appears rod-shaped. If you see, this is the one, coiled one, and this is the icosahedral. Non-enveloped and enveloped. See this one, this orange part and the purple part is basically the envelope. This is not present, this is present in the enveloped one, but this is not present in the naked or non-enveloped viruses. Those viruses which are not having envelope, they are also called as naked viruses. Classification. How we classify the DNA viruses? DNA viruses are classified as enveloped or non-enveloped or naked viruses. The enveloped viruses are double-stranded genome, and these are two major examples are pox viruses and herpes viruses. While the non-enveloped ones are either double-stranded or single-stranded. The single-stranded ones are parvovirus, while the double-stranded ones are adeno and papoviruses. These are linear because they are in the linear shape, you can see, and these are the circular if the DNA is coiled in a circular way. This chart is from your book, so you can easily get this picture there. This classification is also from there, in which these classification from the general virology, you should know all the tables. These are very important, and these will summarize all the basic features of DNA and RNA viruses. So this will help you from getting basic information. This will also tell you the DNA structure is either linear or coiled or single-stranded or double-stranded. So these all things are mentioned in this one. The important features of the DNA viruses are that they are double-stranded, except the parvovirus, which is a single-stranded DNA virus. All the casohedral symmetry except the pox virus, which is complex symmetry. All have a linear structure except Vadna and Papilloma virus, which are circular structure. This is also a detail of RNA viruses. Same here. RNA viruses are more than the DNA viruses. The important features of RNA viruses is all the single-stranded except the Rio viruses, which is double-stranded. All the linear except bad viruses like Bunia or Arena and Delta. That's why it's called bad. B is for Bunia, A is for Arena, and D is for Delta. So bad viruses are the ones which are linear. Otherwise, all are linear. These are the circular ones. Rio and orthovirus are segmented. How they grow? When one virion infects a cell, it can replicate in approximately 10 hours to produce 100 of virions within that cell. And this is how they grow. The time required for the growth cycle varies. It is from few minutes for some bacterial viruses and few hours if the human viruses are there. The time during one virus is found inside the cell is known as eclipse period, in which there is no division and there is no virus. It will further get attached to the cell, get mature, and then it will divide. The latent period, in contrast, is defined as the time for the onset of infection to appearance of the virus extracellularly. Now, these two terms are very important as far as your viral infections are concerned. The eclipse period, where there is no virus found in the cell, and the latent period, in contrast, is where there is infection and the virus extracellularly is appearing. This is how they get replicated. This cycle is very important. If you learn a little change is there, otherwise it's same for all the viruses. What is first is the absorption. When the virus gets attached to the host cell and then get its penetration inside the cell, like this one. Then there is uncoating. The envelope will form, and only the DNA or RNA material will get inside the nucleus of the host cell. Then there is early transcription and the synthesis of messenger RNA is there. Then there is early translation in which a synthesis of DNA polymerase is occurring. Then there is DNA synthesis and late transcription. As you see, there is further division of these DNA strands. And then the late translation where the synthesis of late protein like capsid protein is formed. Then these get penetrated or assembly inside the nucleus of the host cells. And then at the end, the progenies are released into the from the cell, infected cell into the circulation, and the cell dies. The infected cell lysis occurs. This picture is very important, and this is also from your book. You should know before we start with the further viruses, because this picture will be repeated in DNA viruses. How lysis occurs? Bacteriophage is the one which will do the lysis process. This is the same. Attachment is there, then penetration, then biosynthesis, then maturation, and then release. These are the 5 steps, and these are frequently asked that what are the lytic procedures or what are the steps which is formed in the lysis of the bacteriophage. Multiplication of bacteriophages, lysogenic cycle, same. It's very important. What will happen is that first the phage attaches to the host cells and inject the DNA. Then what will happen? The phage DNA circulates and enter the lytic cell or lysogenic cycle. Then what will happen? The new phases of the DNA and protein synthesis will occur, and the assembly of virions will occur. And at the end, all the cells lysis releases phage the viruses into the circulation, and the host cells will die. What is viral replication? Viral replication is basically the formation of biological viruses during the infection process in the target host cells, and by generating abundant copies of its genome and packaging these copies into the viruses and then releasing them into the host circulation is the main part of replication. Most DNA viruses assemble in the nucleus, while most RNA viruses develop solely in the cytoplasm. Steps of viral replication, what are these? Number one, there is attachment, penetration, and uncoating. Then the middle one is gene expression and gene replication. And the last one is assembly and release. Thank you. This is the basic of virology. If we want to extend it in your book, it's very extended. But these are those points which you should know at your level, that is undergraduate level, that you should know what are the viruses, what is the difference between a virus and other living cell, and then what are the basic steps of replication and translation. And then the most important is classification of the viruses, which are medically important. These pictures which I have taken or the tables is from your book. So you should know all these and you should go through all these today so that when tomorrow we will start with the main one by one virus groups, then it will be easy for you to go ahead and go through all of these. Like this one is RNA viruses chart, and this is very important. You should know all these viruses, what they cause. Like this important viruses, they cause the disease. It's also mentioned in it. Then either they are linear or no, according to the classification. This will be helping you as you will go in the details of these viruses. The virology is a very major component after bacteriology and parasitology, so you should know all these things. And the replication cycle of both DNA and RNA. They are a little bit step is different because in the DNA there is a double strand, and you know this is of RNA is required. While in the RNA there is already present in them. They have to generate a copy of DNA for themselves, and then the relying rest of the replication in the worm cells will occur. This multiplication is very important. This part was remaining. When the occasional, the prophage may exercise the bacterial chromosomes by another recombination event and initiating a latex cell cycle. And this will cause the normal division of the cells. And how this is occurring. This is a DNA strand. This is bacterial chromosome. And this is the how the multiplication is. This is very important. Bacteriophage multiplication or lysogenic cycle is very important. You should know this picture as well. That's all for today. If you want to ask anything, you can ask. If there is any question, you can ask. Hello. Okay, thank you guys. See you tomorrow, inshallah. हाँ जी नहीं अटेंडेंस आते हैं एक दूसरे कोई नहीं जाते हैं पेपर करके आएंगे